Very much, Kelly. Now to your health. March is National Kidney Month. It's a time to recognize the impact of kidney disease, which affects about 37 million people in the U.S.
And among the hundreds of thousands who are waiting for a kidney transplant is a group of Americans that we consider everyday heroes. Joining us live to tell us about a new initiative in support of first responders is Atul Agnihotri, CEO of Kidneys for Communities. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to you as well, and thanks for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about the need within the first responder community for new kidneys. What trends are we seeing, and why is this community more at risk?
So, we work inside the communities. What we've observed is that 96% of all individuals that donate a kidney donate to someone that they either know or they have an affinity with or they identify with. Most of that strong feeling resides inside the communities. For example, police officers, unions, college alumni, church congregations, and so forth. We continuously receive requests from individuals that wish to save the life of a first responder in need of a kidney. And this has been sort of an ongoing pattern for us. We know that, when there's a fire or a hazard, first responders are in front of us trying to protect us from a situation. And in essence, they're putting their lives on line for us. And we felt that, not only because of the number that you just mentioned, about 10,000 first responders currently, on dialysis or waiting for a kidney. That's a pretty big number that we wanted to put a dent on. But we also wanted to make sure that we appreciate all the work that they do for us.
Absolutely. Well, tell us how one kidney donation can help save several lives through this initiative.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting concept devised by Professor Alvin Roth, who received a Nobel Prize in 2012 or 2016, I believe, for this. So what you do is 33% of the donors are not compatible with their recipients. They have to meet a certain number of parameters to be considered a positive match. And 33%, one-third of all the donors, don't match their respective recipient. So what we do is we put such donors, such pairs in a big pool and kind of match them against each other. And by doing that, by putting in a new donor inside that pool, we are able to not only save the individual that he wanted to save or she wanted to save, but many more by creating a chain.
It's interesting that kidney donation is one of the types of organ donation that can be a living donation. You can be a living donor. What are some of the common myths around kidney donation that maybe lead to some fear and some hesitancy for people?
Yeah, I think the biggest myth right now is we've got, so as a matter of fact, we've got 80 to 100,000 people waiting on a kidney wait list right now. They'll be waiting 4 to 6 years, in between which CDC says that 13 people will die every day waiting. So there's this common misconception amongst people that there's plenty of kidneys flying around available for these recipients to save their lives. And the fact is there's a severe shortage of kidneys. So I think that is the biggest myth that stops people from stepping up for their neighbor, for their friend, for their family members, because they believe that somehow magically they'll find a kidney, and that's unfortunately not so. The second myth is that people feel that they need to be a perfect match they need to have the same blood group as a recipient to be able to donate. Or if they're donating to a child that they can't donate because they're an adult. So there are some myths like that, which none of them are unfortunately true. There's enough technology and enough inventions out there that can, help with this. The big thing here is, unlike other diseases like cancer and all, we know that there's a solution out there, and the solution is for people to give their kidney. A living kidney lasts about 60 to 70% longer than a deceased donor kidney. Now, deceased donor kidney is also very important, and one should take it if one comes their way, but there's a long way to receive it.
Well, how can people learn more about the donation process and what you need to do in order to donate?
Yes, so, very easy. You go to our website, kidneysforcommunities.org. It has a lot of information available about the disease and the process of donation. If you're inclined to assess yourself for a donation, you simply click the button, Be a Donor button on our website, and we send you an at-home kit. And the beauty is where we are differentiated versus many different organizations is how we support the donor. We cover all the financial out-of-pocket costs that the donor incurs, whether it is travel, lodging, food, childcare, pet care, or even lost wages. And we have a group of people that are altruistic donors who have kind of donated a kidney in the past, and they support these donors all the way, answering questions, providing them resources, etc.
Oh, that's wonderful. It is a life-saving message for sure. Atul, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And if you want to learn more about kidney donation and the initiative for first responders, go to kidneysforcommunities.org.
It is 7:40 right now, and up next on AM Extra, a local chef is cooking up